Want to wear one-of-a-kind gorgeous jewelry that also happens to give back to people and the planet? Look no further than Beaumont Jewelry Collective, a curated online fine jewelry collection featuring incredible pieces from 8 different designers. Whether you're looking for a gift for a loved one or treating yourself to something special, they'll have something beautiful and sparkly that'll be sure to catch your eye. Join their quest to make a positive impact through each designer piece at Beaumont.jewelrycollective.com. That's Beaumont.jewelrycollective.com. According to recent data, fewer than half of Multnomah County residents were born in Oregon, meaning most Portlanders aren't actually from here. But adjusting to life in our wonderful city, I'm hearing, can be challenging. Did you know we might not be the easiest of people to befriend? And it's hard to know how to start building community, especially when you're coming from a drastically different cultural region like, say, the South or the East Coast. That's why today on CityCast Portland, we're talking with 2 recent transplants and friends of the show, Danielle Mangone and Cary. They have tips for how to quickly find your groove in your new chosen city and all the ways you can make Portland really feel like home. It's Monday, January 26th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Danielle, I know we had you booked for a little bit, but Chris, you just jumped in last minute, and I super appreciate it. We were looking for 2 transplants with very different backgrounds, and I remember meeting you at that neighbor meetup and hearing your background, where you came from and like how you were feeling about it. And I was like, oh, we got to talk to Chris.
I appreciate it so much. I told Julia, I was like, I can't believe she remembers me, because I have felt so guilty. Because like when we met at St. John's, I was like, I really need to make new friends. We were like hitting it off convo wise. And then I got a new contract up in the South Puget Sound and like dropped off the face of the planet. And I was like, she's just going to think I'm some creep just watching her Insta stories. And I've been meaning to reach out back to you and be like, yeah, we should totally hang out. And then I fell into that Portlander trap of being awkward and introverted. So after this, I'll send you a follow-up and be like, yes, we should hang out now that I'm here full time again.
I was going to ask if you guys feel at home, but it sounds like you already do. So
a little bit. Yeah. I'm adopting the local culture. That's all.
Well, before we really get into it, I want you guys to share where you moved from and like when, and also what sold you on moving to Portland. Danielle, do you want to start?
Sure. So I moved in June of 2020 on my partner's birthday, as one does, as a great birthday gift, make them move you across states. I originally am from the Philadelphia area, like South Jersey, Philly area, but I spent almost 2 years in LA, and it was great. I had a good time. I made good friends there, but it wasn't like clicking for me and where I wanted to be. And so we visited Portland right before lockdown happened, and like COVID was kind of just like a whisper in the air, and fell in love with it. And I quickly convinced my partner to move up here. She said 5 years. It wound up being 3 months. But yeah, it was really just like the nature up here, definitely like being from the East Coast, being used to having a lot of greenery, and then being in LA where it's obviously very different climate. There's not really seasons, all that, really was a push to come up here. And then, of course, just the vibe up here felt more like me, like the way people dress and the way people, well, not always the way they act, sometimes a bit passive, but, just the whole like scene up here, the bar scene, the music scene, it just vibed with me a bit more. I'm definitely more of like a rivers, mountains, lakes girly over an ocean one. I hate going in the ocean. I mean, oceans in LA, of course, are gorgeous, but I don't like being in the actual ocean. Yeah. So up here is like, oh, no one goes in unless you surf, which I don't know how to do. That is ideal for me. So I think that's really what pushed me to come up here.
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
So I kind of came in here blind, to be honest with you. So I moved here July 2024. I went to Emory University. I'm a neonatal clinician by trade and by training. So one of the local university hospitals in the area was interviewing me in my final semester. I flew out here December 2023 and had never been before. And I think what really sold me was, and I think locals are probably going to laugh at this, but I'll paint you a mental picture. So, you're landing in PDX, and if you live in Atlanta and Hartsfield-Jackson Airport is your primary airport, every airport seems very pleasant in comparison. Our TSA agents have the collective charisma of Ted Bundy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It's a connecting airport for a lot of international travelers. So there's a lot of people shuffling back and forth. The Hartsfield always has some part under construction and yet never looks any better afterwards. So you land in PDX and it looks like a total haven. Everybody's smiling at you. The TSA agents are like pretending at least to be happy to see you. I took the MAX to downtown, and you're
nice.
riding through East Portland, which looks pretty lived in, still really cool. Then you cross the river, which is like a total magic moment. And downtown in December looks gorgeous. I mean, it's all lit up. Your first impression is Pioneer Square. There's a food truck called Fried Egg I'm in Love, which is a Cure reference, and I freaking loved it. The Heathman was gorgeous. So to me, Portland reminded me so much of where I went to undergrad, the University of Georgia, which is in Athens. And, keep Athens weird is a bumper sticker phrase that we stole from y'all. And I really loved it then because, I lived in Athens for 5 years and it was a very happy place for me. So when I landed, I was like, this is dope. I could totally see myself living here. And I was jonesing to get out of Atlanta. I kind of seen all there was to see.
Right. I do want to clarify, though, that we still keep Portland weird from Austin. So it's a back and forth, I think. So now that we have your background, I'm curious, how you two are feeling about Portland now. Does it feel like home?
I would say yes, a resounding yes. Of course, it took a bit of time moving here during a shutdown to make it feel like home. But I feel like I've really been able to build up a life in a community and a home base here for myself. I also bought a home here last April. So it's a
Wow,
little bit more of a
congrats.
permanence for me. Yeah, thank you. Even though I adore Philly and LA was a lot of fun, this is definitely home for me now. I really feel like Portland just feeds my soul in a way that the other cities did not, which is so cheesy to say, but I really love Portland. I definitely think it feels like home for me.
What are some of the things you did in the first couple of years that really made Portland feel like home to you, Danielle?
Yeah, I'd say the first thing is going on constant hikes. Since I moved during the summer, if anyone is new to Portland and you just moved here in the winter, don't worry. You're going to get sunlight till 10 p.m. once the summer hits.
Yeah, it's
Taking
awesome.
advantage of that. Yeah, it's the best. So taking advantage of that and that late sunlight and driving an hour or two away from your house and going on a hike after work or on the weekends and knowing you don't have to be like, oh gosh, is it going to get dark and I'm going to be lost in the woods somewhere? That was a huge thing that made it feel like home because I didn't just know Portland. I was starting to know around St. Helens and out towards the
Yeah.
coast and out towards Mount Hood. And then also my best friend, Jeanette, one of my best friends moved up from LA. We convinced her in year 2. She visited. Little did she know it was.
But I love that you're the way I made Portland feel like home was I forced one of my best friends to move here.
Literally, he was making the same. I'm like, she just imported her whole social
She's
circle.
still here.
Unfair advantage. I know.
I did. I know. It's so funny.
Stricken from the record, Danielle. Not helpful.
I know. But I met her in LA and I loved her so much. And we became super close and she came up to visit
We're all
the
happy
second
for
year we
you.
lived here.
Yeah.
I basically was Portland's spokesperson. I took her on a sunrise hike to Pittock Mansion.
Oh, that's nice.
And I was like, oh my God, look at this beautiful city. So her moving up here really helped too, because I had a built-in friend then, but again, harping on the fact that it was a pandemic, making friends in person was hard. So I just imported my own.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming close with my neighbors was a big thing as well. Pretty much
Yeah.
everywhere we've lived, we got close with our neighbors. I have 2 of them from when I lived up in St. John's that are still they're family to me now. When my family comes to visit, they request to get dinner with them. It's amazing.
Aw.
I also got married here,
Aw.
which definitely made it feel like home. We got married in the Hoyt Arboretum on the Redwood deck.
Damn.
Gorgeous. If anyone else is
That's
planning
so
a wedding here,
nice.
also a suggestion. And then just really, like I said it already, just getting out there, taking those 2 to 3 hour drives, exploring different small towns and areas, and just kind of mapping out Oregon and Portland as a whole.
Right. All right, Chris.
All right.
That having to live up to that in any way. How do you feel about Portland? Because you've been here for like how many years too?
A little over a year and a half. So, I have to admit, so my first year in change, it was marked by calamity, which I have been told now is a lot of people's experiences when they first moved to Portland, said job that I moved here for did not work out. I moved here with a partner as well, and he did not take very well to it. And then a pet died. So it was just like back to back to back. But I'm at the point now where I'm giving it an honest shot. Like you, Danielle, several of my friends are transplants from elsewhere. And a lot of folks do say the same thing, where like the first year is hell. And then the second year is where you start to make friends. And then it gets better from there on out. As far as whether it feels like home, one, I'm having to turn my GPS on a lot less. And this is my second big dark that I have survived. And, it's going. Portland started to turn a corner for me and feel like home too after I had a friend visit last year. And he came from Atlanta. He kind of forced me to do a lot of the touristy stuff that I had avoided.
Interesting.
He's an artist by profession. And he actually came with an agenda when he visited me. He said, I have all these sculptures downtown that I want to see. I want to go to the Pittock Mansion. I want to go to the Hoyt. And so we did all of that, and kind of having to show someone else my new city gave me a broader sense of ownership. I will confess I have felt like a guest in my own home for the most part since moving here, but that actually really, really did help me.
I'm hearing that inviting a friend seems to be helpful, either forcing them to move here or just showing them some cool stuff.
Yes. Some things that helped me early on, I'm a little bit of a politics wonk. I love to kind of study the area around me. But I will say, and this might be a little bit of a log roll for y'all, CityCast Portland was actually one of the first things I subscribed and listened to like the first week that I moved here, because that was a habit for me.
Wow.
And the show really helped me discover new things. This was also kind of leading up to the 2024 election. And, you guys have, like, there's a whole new city council structure here. There were a lot of ballot measures. And listening to y'all do a mix of local news stories to help me better understand the machinations of the city around me, but then also intersperse it with some lifestyle things and new places to discover, made me feel more comfortable exploring on my own too.
That's so nice to hear. Wow.
And I think I was just really lucky in that I found, my dream apartment and the perfect neighborhood for me. I live on 2nd and Harrison next to PSU. And that really does make Portland feel like home pretty quickly when you find your place.
Yeah. Well, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to dive into both of your picks of the must-dos that really helped you get to know our city and culture a little better. If you or a young reader you know are into fantasy and adventure, you might want to check out The Ascent by Vermont author Christopher Walker. The story centers around John Atwater, a retired Army veteran who finds himself lost in the mystical world of Morelia. And in order to return home, he must oust the oppressive ruler of this strange new land. The book has all the elements of a great fantasy novel, with thrilling action sequences, magical creatures, betrayals, romance, humor, and compelling, relatable characters. If any of this sounds intriguing to you, head over to ChristopherWalkerBooks.com and click on the Buy Now dropdown to purchase The Ascent in paperback, hardcover, or ebook formats. That's ChristopherWalkerBooks.com. A new year is the perfect time for a fresh start. If you've been wanting to improve your team's work dynamics and communication, and no one has taken you up on a top golf outing, check out Skill Charter. They're a locally owned leadership development company that's already helped colleagues at Portland State, Wild Cannabis, and Nonstop Health reconnect, reset, and actually work better together. Skill Charter's workshops are fun, affordable, and designed to create real lasting change long after everyone goes back to the office. They help growing organizations build strong teams by providing the space to finally have the kinds of conversations you never have time for. They bring the structure, facilitation, clarity, practical tools, and plenty of humor. You just have to bring your people. To learn more, explore case studies, or connect with co-founders Kate and Corin, go to skillcharter.com. That's skillcharter.com. Do you have a bicycle stored inside that's always in the way, like a bad roommate? Maybe even a herd of bikes taking up way too much space in the garage. You can fit your bike in 1/3 the space with a Flatten Your Bike kit from Flat Bike. Their thin stem instantly folds your handlebars 90 degrees with no tools, while their Flat Bike pop-off pedals release in seconds, making your bike easier to maneuver and more theft resistant. Because who's gonna ride off on your bike with no pedals? Now, any place is a great place for your bike because it's flat on demand. That's portable adventure from Flat Bike. Learn more at flatbike.com. That's flatbike.com. So, what are some quintessential, these are the things you have to do that will really help you get to know Portland a little better, maybe, more involved in the culture here?
Yeah, sure. So, similar to what Chris was saying, I think a lot of the tourist spots are definitely something to hit up. So when I visited and when I first moved here, I made sure I went to Powell's, checked out Salt and Straw, Forest Park, Cathedral Park, went up to Pittock a few times, did the waterfall corridor and Multnomah Falls. Another big thing was learning how to say Willamette. And I would go in my head all the time, be like, Willamette, like, damn it. Willamette, like, damn it. And I would literally repeat that in my head.
How did you say it first? I want to know, like,
Willamette. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Like in Philly, for example, it's like Conshohocken Street. So like we come from these like really insane names, and I couldn't even handle Willamette when I got here. So it's so silly.
I mean, I was going to say, y'all have the Schuylkill.
I know people like the Schuylkill. I'm like, no, why would it be that?
But I also like, why would couch be cooch? So
Cooch, that's exactly my next thing.
Why would that be it? Like, I get it.
Well, actually, it was someo's last name because I had to look this
I know
up.
that, but what I'm saying is, why would you? I'm not. I'm sorry, Danielle. You think that 25 years in, I'm just like, but what? It's cooch. And why?
Well, Claudia, it took me a few years to Google it because I was like, I hate this. And I still will say Couch Street in the privacy of my own car. But if I'm around other people, I'm like, oh yeah, Couch Street, totally.
No, I'm giving you an out. I'm just like, yeah, I don't expect anyone to move to Portland and go, clearly that's Couch. And also it's Willamette. Why would you say Willamette when it looks like, Willamette? It looks like Willamette.
Thank you.
Yeah. And like, this is my first week here, sitting on the streetcar. I live downtown, so I'm like going up. It had to have been my second day, and you hear that friendly little voice. It's just the most polite thing, Cooch, and I'm like, she said what?
Yep.
Excuse?
Yep.
Oh
I
my God.
know. Another one was also like Tabor. I thought it was Tabor. I would also say like going to see the Thorns and the Timbers. My first game I sat in the Timbers Army, which is like, I mean, you got to be ready for that. And I was trying to like do the little moves and do the little like chants and everything that everyone does on my phone, keeping up. But if you just learn a couple, you'll be good. Trailblazers game, of course. But yeah, going to like as many events and markets as possible. I feel like we're so lucky here with the number of like farmers markets and pop-up and makers markets and all of that. It's a great way, even just having, silly to say, but like brand recognition of our small businesses was something else that helped me feel like I knew the city and culture a bit better. And then finding my favorite coffee shops. I'm going to give a shout out to some of my current faves.
Okay, here we go.
I'm currently obsessed with Slow Haste, No Preference, and Hypnos Coffee, trying different breweries. Finding dive bars or just like bars in general that feel like home. I feel like Portland has a really good dive bar scene. So like I really love Sandy Jug. I really love Lombard House, although kind of on the cusp of being a dive bar. Holman's, Tinker Tavern, amazing food there as well. Make sure you're having picnics in the summer. My recommendation is the top of Mount Tabor. Lug that picnic basket up there. It is absolutely worth it. And then the
Yeah,
last
for
thing I
sure.
would say is, this is a silly one, but getting Birkenstock clogs for the summer and
Oh my God.
Blundstones for the winter, you got to do it. You have to do it. Like, it's just,
I feel
it's a
like this is
requirement.
really specific instructions for lesbians, and Chris is a beautiful gay man, and we cannot defile him this way.
Actually, I have to confess, also Birkenstocks and Bloodstones over here. So,
Yes.
Awesome,
Yes.
Danielle. She's like,
You
what
get it,
up,
Chris.
us? This is hilarious. These are great suggestions. What about you, Chris? What are you saying these are the must-dos?
Danielle and I actually have a lot of overlapping. So for one,
Oh,
yes.
this is good to hear.
Oh my God. Are we going to be friends after this, Chris?
I think so, because I too have a coffee shop recommendation. So this kind of ties into, finding your neighborhood, really finding like your own particular haunts are super important. So for my recommendation, I really have to shout out Ovation coffee shop. They make these amazing like Moroccan coffees. Every drink they have involves like kind of sprinkling like this like crystallized honey on top, as well as a couple of spices. Plays really well with coffee and chai. I would say do windshield surveys. And by that, what I mean is like get out of your neighborhood. A lot of what I've had to do in discovering the city early on was like by myself. One of my favorite drives, especially early on when I kind of needed to get out of my head, is to take Lovejoy, go towards the West Hills. Let me say, I drive a drop top. I come by Convertible Life naturally. I love it. For several years, I'm a dues paid Mini Cooper Club member here. But take Lovejoy as it turns into Cornell, drop the top, go up that drive, and then just have your head in the woods. And it's freaking fantastic. Turn left onto Skyline and you start to have these beautiful views of the city. And then that turns into Burnside. So you have your return trip. And that is like one of the most like head clearing drives. It really allows you to appreciate the beauty of the city. So when people would mention a neighborhood or people would mention a location, I would just like put that in my Maps app, pin it, and then I would just drive over there and just do kind of a windshield survey, walk around, get a feel for the personality of the location. The St. John's tour that we did last summer was like fantastic for me because that was an area that I had never really considered going to. Sorry, I know that it's like very near and dear to your heart. I too now share the love.
Right. And I also just want to fill people in this St. John's tour that we did. That was, if you're a CityCast Portland neighbor, we do things like that, like quarterly, we'll do a meetup or we give neighborhood tours, that kind of thing. And that was something that I led last summer. The hottest day of the year, by the way, which was...
It was a beast.
It was insane. We didn't realize it was going to be the hottest day of the year. And I was also so surprised by how many people did not drop out. Like it was pretty much a full sign up, which I was so incredibly grateful because I was like, oh, it's just going to be me and like, one person from LA who just moved up here who's just like, it's a dry heat, But do you miss that, Danielle? No, see, it's a dry heat.
Oh my God, no.
Okay.
My mom still says it.
What are some quirks about Portland that maybe didn't make sense to you when you first moved here, but now you're like, okay, I get it?
This is a twofer, and they kind of go together a little bit. So first off, friendships in Portland. It's a learning curve. I don't know if this is just like a West Coast thing in general, or if this is specific to Portland. I think out on the West Side, people are much more individualistic. Some people might say main character syndrome. I think that's mean. But I think it's mostly just out here, folks are doing them. Like you're doing you out here and do what works for you. I find that people out here navigate friendships differently because of that. Back home, I've typically would have like a smaller friend circle, a lot more acquaintances. And those friends, like I have met and collected from different aspects and facets of life, but maybe I'm just blessed in that I was able to do a lot of stuff together with these disparate people. And in Portland, I find that people talk about like this is my friend from X, or this is my Y friend, and this is my Z friend. Like, we do this together. I do this with that person. And never the twain shall meet.
Except on your birthday. And it's really fun. And, I've had friends who've become friends hanging out on my birthdays.
Pro tip.
But the moment you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, 100%.
I'm taking the birthday tip from you. Mine's in like 2 months. And so you've given me a master plan on how to like stitch all this together.
Yeah. And then I've yet to have a friend who's like, I fucking hate your other friend. I mean, at least what I've been
telling
told.
you.
Yeah. Which is good,
Yeah, totally.
That took me a while to really figure out and navigate. I spent a solid year here being like, nobody want to make friends out here. But once I kind of figured out the psychology of it, and also that Portland is a very introverted city in general, and there is definitely like a meet friends season and a hibernation season, that helped me a lot. And I just accepted it for what it is. And so I always just leave the invitation open, because Portlanders do flake. And they do cancel. I don't care what anybody says. You get the text that's like, well, I was walking home and a leaf blew in the wrong direction than what I was expecting. And so I kind of have to just take the night for myself and, heal from that. I hope you understand. And you're just like, okay, that's cool. No worries. It's a very Portland phrase. No worries. It's cool. Just we'll circle back. And then when you do get that glint of an invite, just go ahead and take it. That really helps you meet people. And again, once I started being more generous with assessing people's personalities and the social scene out here, that really helped me change my perspective a lot. The second thing is, moving from Atlanta, where there is a total gayborhood, it's Midtown, everything's very centralized, you throw a rock and you can hit another gay boy, like without any kind of any effort whatsoever. Here the scene, and I'm going to speak very specifically from a gay perspective, the scene is very diffuse, and there's not a lot of dedicated like third spaces, in Midtown or even in Capitol Hill in Seattle. Atlanta, Seattle, those are boys' towns. There's like 7 gay bars within a 3-mile radius. And here, aside from, say, the Eagle, it's all very mixed crowd, which is cool.
Silverado? Did that close?
No, Silverado's still open. It's fun. It's a good spectacle. Same with Stag. But
let me tell you, there are way more gay bars than there are any kind of lesbian. Actually, I think our last lesbian bar closed, which is Doc Marie's.
Yeah,
not to be
wild to me.
But I hear what you're saying, because in most cities there is a much more defined scene, and I think Portland is just gay.
I was just gonna say that, Claudia.
And I don't want to say gay; I mean queer.
That's it.
It's just queer.
So that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's because we're all like bisexual, polyamorous, like queers out here. Like everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. It's interesting that you say that though, Chris, because like obviously Philly has a gayborhood, like on the map gayborhood. LA has West Hollywood. And one of my favorite things about here was that it wasn't so segregated in the queer community, and that you could really go anywhere with anyone, because being someone that identifies as queer, bisexual, like I guess really into anyone, it was really refreshing to not like have to go into a gay male centric bar and be able to be with my gay male friends, my lesbian friends, my queer friends, my very straight friends. And everybody was like, not that you're not allowed in that space, but there is, especially in West Hollywood, more of an agenda, I think, there, and like a little bit more of like, oh, you're just like this gay guy's friend and you came with him today. And I'm like, yeah, well, where am I going to go? Like, there's no space for me. And I agree with Claudia. I was going to say the same thing. Like, it's a queer city, and that's something I love about it, because everyone here is some kind of something, and you don't have to define these spaces, because all of these spaces are for that.
Or you could be straight.
Yeah, that's a little bit of something.
And you know what? That's fine too. We still like you.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll still take you in the fold.
But Chris, I need you to know that I hear that, especially coming from larger cities where you're used to that like space. And I remember us talking about it, and I was like, I'm going to hook you up, with the gay community that I know here, because there are gay only parties and spaces. And it's so cute because they'll still invite you. And even I'm just like, you have to have a night where it's just dongs and you guys and like go for it. Like I love that you invited me, but like I'm not gonna have fun. I know it.
Yeah.
And I know you're gonna ditch me in fucking 10 minutes. So just have your night. And like, just to layer on to what Danielle said, I grew up in LA and I remember the first time I went to West Hollywood as a queer little kid and crying because I felt so excluded. And I mean, one, because I wasn't 21 and everything was like, you have to be an adult to enjoy anything, because I was 15, I was like, oh, I'm gay. But then also just being like, oh, this is for boys. And then just feeling excluded yet again. And I was just like, oh, okay. So like, I think that's why I loved Portland, but I also understand why that's important, why that community is, especially if that's how you grew up identifying each other and creating community. So I totally hear you, Chris. And I do feel like what you're talking about is discussed a lot in queer communities, either like strictly like we want a lesbian space to like we want just a gay male space. And like those bars never survive. And I think it's because Portland is so diffused.
I would agree. It's I don't say this as a negative thing. What I am saying is this is like to answer your question, it's a quirk that at first really did throw me. I mean, when we talked last summer, I know I was crying into my beer being like, I don't know where the boys are. I can't find them. But it is a completely different experience. And it does, like, once you accept your new place for what it is, it does force you into a different mindset and it really pushes you into a new experience. That's not a bad thing at all. Like y'all said, Atlanta has a lot of the G and a lot of the T actually, but not a lot of the L and the B. And, moving into a space where those other letters of the spectrum are emphasized is actually really nice, to be honest. It does kind of come with its, benefits and trade-offs, but it is really nice to be in a place where the rest of the spectrum isn't erased.
Right. What about you, Danielle? Is there anything that like when you first moved in, you were like, what is happening? And now you're like, all right, we're good here.
Yeah, totally. I would say using an umbrella. I mean, I didn't realize it was such like a thing here that you shouldn't use one.
You can.
No, you cannot. I always hated carrying an umbrella because then like you go inside and it's wet and it's dripping everywhere. And what am I supposed to do with that? So like moving here, I was like, oh, I get why no one wants to use them. How serious biking was, I didn't truly understand until I moved here. Yeah. And then I would also say like going on rainy hikes. It's not that I was ever against it, but like on the East Coast, in the winter, you're probably not going out there like to the Poconos to hike really. But rainy hikes are actually it's my favorite time of the year to hike. Like I am the anomaly that adores the rainy season. I'm actually angry at how sunny it is right now. I just said to my partner last night, like, this is ridiculous. I miss the rain. Summer's going to come and I'm going to have no dark skies. And she was like, get out. But yeah, I think like going on rainy hikes, I was like, I don't know, why is everyone doing this? And I'm muddy and my dogs are muddy. And now I'm like, it's the best time to me.
Right. Well, is there anything that you will never get used to, you guys?
Yes. I have a couple things here. One would be not having all types of major league sports in the city. That's really strange to me. And I wasn't even as into sports when I moved out here as I am now, because it kind of made me connect to home, like to my home sport teams, made me feel like I was home a little bit. But like no baseball, no football, no major hockey. Like we love the Winterhawks, we love the Pickles, of course, but not having those major league sports is very interesting to me. It doesn't really affect me, but I think it's a bit weird. People going out to nice dinner in athletic or casual wear, just dressed down.
I know that's right.
It's just like wild to me. Like when you go out on the East Coast, like you go out, and I'd say LA similarly too, right? Like some places have dress codes. Like you couldn't just walk in.
Folks are wearing sandals to the bar, and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we could wear our Birkenstocks to like the bar. It's okay. But like
dude, look at the soles of your shoes when you walk out of a bar. You want that on your toes?
I don't want to see toes.
That's fair. But I'm talking like a crappy bar, but like when you go to like a nice dinner, like I'm definitely a little bit more casual now, but that's not intentional. It's just so I don't look weird sometimes. And then how everything shuts down early. There's really no late night spots here. And then the last thing is very much on what Chris was talking about, passive personalities. Being an East Coaster, that is not something that I am. So when I make a new friend and they're like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, cool, on this date at this time, put in your calendar right now. And so that is something that is like very different for me. Like where I come from, when you make plans, you commit to those plans unless like your leg fell off. So you're probably going to go. So for me, that is something that I'm growing to understand, but I don't think I'll totally ever be used to.
And honestly, I don't think it's right. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't either.
What about you, Chris?
I have to echo, yes, absolutely. Time is valuable. People's time matters. And, canceling at the last minute, flaking, ghosting, I don't think I will ever get used to that. I accept it for what it is, but it is something that drives me absolutely bug nutty. So I have to say the driving, I don't think I'm ever going to get used to it.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm ever, I cannot with these left lane campers. I'm so glad that I have a wide microphone to speak it into. Move over. For the love of God.
Yes.
Also, the other lane, it's called zip merging. And I'm sorry if, I know Portlanders are kind of,
we've gotten
they're
better.
very British about waiting in line. And I know that there is the one lane and you can queue up. But there is the other lane that you can get into. And if other people take that opportunity, as they should, don't block them.
Oh my God, yeah.
The other thing is actually, I think while the big dark is a thing, I also find it kind of demonic when it's still sunlight out at 9:30.
You don't like that? Chris, it's amazing. Oh my God,
it is
Chris.
the best.
Sunlight is a wake up factor for me. I wake up by the sunlight, which is crazy because I'm a night shifter. So I am one of those people, I wear a sleep mask and I have the blackout blinds and everything. But my bedroom windows are west facing. For me to lay down in bed and, it's a cozy 9:15 p.m. and yet somehow the sun is glaring at me. I don't know. I don't think I will ever get used to that. I do love the fact that Portland comes alive and we all blossom and we're all shiny, happy people, but I got to sleep and I never sleep in the summer. It gives me summertime blues. Call me Lana Del Rey that way. I've got the sadness.
Oh my God. I've never thought of this. I'm Chris, you just need to go. You need to leave this whole town.
We just revoked your Portland card.
Look at his face. You know what? Get out. No, to me, Portland, we survived the winter so we could party so hard in the summer. And that's why I was but that's the whole point, But I hear you if you need that sun in your face, because the sun doesn't rise because we have it so late. It doesn't rise till 7 or 8. So I totally get that. Chris, do you have any more on your list of I will never get over?
I was just happy to have the microphone to tell every Subaru with a Believe in Nice license plate frame to get the hell over. This is the biggest victory you could have handed me, Claudia.
Chris, you're really putting yourself out there because we know you drive a mini convertible now and you're one of 4 people in the city with a convertible. And now we're all going to be is that Chris?
I have a very distinctive car too. So if you see me out there and I'm blowing around you, passing you to the right, giving you a big thumbs down.
You told us what kind of car.
Oh, that's so funny.
Y'all are Portlanders. There's no violence here. I don't know what you're saying. Y'all give me a note on my windshield or something.
Oh man. Before we wrap up, any final words of wisdom to share with your fellow transplants?
Okay. Well, I feel like Chris is already doing this one, it sounds like, but putting yourself out there as much as you can. If you've moved here as an introvert or a passive person because that appealed to you about Portland, you're not really going to make any friends ever. You're going to have to push yourself to find your circle. So I say go take that class, join in the group hikes people are always doing, get involved in recreational sports for adults, even meeting people. I met my other 2 best friends on the Portland Reddit looking for a dog sitter. And now they are one of my longest standing best friends here. We spend every holiday together. So literally going out of your box to make friends here is so important. And don't give up your first year. Stay outside in the winter. You will never really feel that seasonal depression. I know I'm speaking through a very sunny stretch of Portland right now, but when it does get rainy and it does get dark, make sure you stay outside. I never had seasonal depression here, and I had it on the East Coast because I stay outside so much. And getting out of your quadrant. I know Chris mentioned that, but leaving your neighborhood and also leaving Portland proper and checking out all the little small towns.
Completely agree. I think a problem or a mental trap that many of us face or fall into when we move to other places is forcing our new home to be as much like our old home as possible. And it allows you to really close yourself off to so many opportunities and friendships. I know I made that mistake early on. I mean, when I first got here, I'm pretty sure for my first like 3 to 4 months, I was insufferable, and that I just said, well, back home we did blah, 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 blah. But just sit back and take it all in. And if you find yourself, being overly negative about a space, I think that's a really good opportunity to just take stock and see like, well, am I the problem here? And you might be. Who knows? The other thing I have is, don't be afraid to do things by yourself. I know I did that St. John's tour completely solo, and, probably here because of that. So don't be afraid to do things by yourself. Nobody really owes you anything. And if you're approaching it that way, where you expect the city to come to you and the people to come to you, they never will. Go out there and just do it yourself. If you find yourself unable to make friends, or if you moved here like I did, not really knowing anybody, just jump out there.
Well, this is great, you guys. I'm feeling inspired, and I lived here forever, and I'm like, I'm gonna go make new friends now. Thank you. Well, you guys, this has been absolutely lovely. I really appreciate your time and your vulnerability in sharing how it felt being you somewhere. And Chris, again, my invite is still open. I'm happy to introduce you to all the gay man I
All right,
know.
I'm going to send you a DM after we hang up and after I've uploaded the episode.
I'm just trying to undersell it, so in case they all flake, I don't seem like a liar.
No, I'm excited. Claudia, you've made me feel infinitely more optimistic about Portland, and you as well, Danielle. I actually picked up a ton of tips from you too. So thank y'all both.
Aw, I love to hear that. Well, welcome to Portland, Chris. I hope this year is better than the last one. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Welcome to Portland, everyone. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
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 That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend or rate and leave us a good review. It really helps us out. And don't forget, you can support this show and get some great perks by becoming a CityCast neighbor. Just visit membership.citycast.fm for all the details. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you with Slims.